Good morning, student. Today I am here with second part of the chapter, The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. As in first part, we studied about French Revolution, Napoleonic Court, effect of French Revolution in the world, aristocracy, middle class, conservative, and liberalism. So today we are going to study about the new conservatism after 1815. Again, 1815 was a turning point in history of France. As you know, France was main political center of Europe. In 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte defeated in the Battle of Waterloo. So after defeating Napoleon Bonaparte, a new conservative power came into existence. 1815 also it is known as Vienna Congress. After defeating Napoleon Bonaparte, representative of the European power, Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria, they defeated to Napoleon, who had collectively defeated Napoleon, met at Vienna to draw up a settlement for Europe. The Congress was hosted by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich, who hosted Vienna Congress, Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. The delegates drew up the Treaty of Vienna of 1815 with the object of undoing most of the change that had come about the Europe during the Napoleonic War. So, in year 1815, Britain and its allies, they decided future of France, and again they restored monarchy there according to this treaty. Bourbon dynasty, which was overthrown, now again according to the treaty that is also known as Vienna Congress. The 1815 treaty between Britain, Russia, Prussia, Austria and France is also known as Vienna Congress. It was headed by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. Again they restored Bourbon dynasty, means they restored monarchy there. So this was a great change in 1815. So after restoring monarchy in France, in number of countries of Europe, they start to revolt against their monarchy ruler. So during 1815 and after that a number of revolutionary activity held in different part of Europe. So one of the main revolutionary of that time was Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini. Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini, he was just like Sardar Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad in Indian national movement. The role what paid by Chandrasekhar Azad and the Sardar Bhagat Singh, the same role paid by Giuseppe Mazzini in Italy. He born in Genoa in 1807. He became the member of secret society of the Carbonari. So there was a secret society of revolutionary and Giuseppe Mazzini became its member. As a young man of 24, he was sent into exile in 1831. When he was only 24 years, he sent to exile. देश निकाला उसको दे दिया. And you know, and Sardar Bhagat Singh, at the age of 23, he hanged by the British government. So there was somewhat similarity between Giuseppe Mazzini and Sardar Bhagat Singh. So later on, Giuseppe Mazzini, he was strongly opposing monarchy in Italy. He subsequently founded two more underground societies, first Young Italy in Marseille and then Young Europe in Barnet, whose members were like-minded young men from Poland, France. Here, because of his activities, Metternich described him as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. Metternich was a follower of monarchy and he described Giuseppe Mazzini as a dangerous enemy of our social order. So when Giuseppe Mazzini established and became the member of Young Italy, he was exiled from Italy, but he continued his struggle to throw out monarchy from Italy. The age of revolution, 1830 to 1848, again during this period, a number of revolutionary activity took place in Europe. A great change again came in 1830 in France. After 1815, when monarchy restored in France, again in 1830 a great change came in France. Now, the first upheaval took place in France in July 1830. The Bourbon king, who had been restored to power during the conservative reaction after 1815, were now overthrown by liberal Liberace. Means after the Vienna Congress in 1815, the Bourbon king was restored, but again in 1830 it was overthrown, and there installed a constitutional monarchy with Louis Philippe at its head. So what happened after 15 years in 1830? The Bourbon king, who was restored in 1815, now again he overthrown. So here the Metternich said, he remarked, when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catch cold. This is very important statement given by Metternich. What he said, when France sneezes, यानी कि फ्रांस को जब छींक आती है, इट कैच यस द रेस्ट ऑफ यूरोप कैच कोल्ड, पूरे यूरोप में ठंडा होता है. मीन्स France became the headquarter of political activities. Whatever political activity were going on in France after French Revolution, it was affecting to Europe because, as already we discussed, after French Revolution, France emerged as an ideal nation before the European countries. That is why whatever political activities were going on in France, it was affecting to Europe. Right. In 1815, after Battle of Waterloo, again monarchy restored there. But in 1830, people opposed it and they followed towards the democracy. Meanwhile, a great change can be seen in Greek. Greek was a state of Ottoman Empire. Actually, the neighboring region of Russia, it was known as the Ottoman Empire. It was very disturbed area before First World War because the settlement of these Ottoman Empire was from different region. Mostly here were the slaves. As already in class 8 you study about the slave trade, a large number of African slaves were sold in European market, and later on they settled near about the Ottoman Empire. So here was a Greek country, Greek. It has a historical background. Greek culture, it is considered the oldest culture. So the people of Greek demanded their independence, but finally in 1832 the Greek recognized as an independent nation according to the Treaty of Constantinople. According to the Treaty of Constantinople in 1832, Greek recognized as an independent nation. This is a very important question for the board examination point of view, my dear. In 1832, there was a treaty called Treaty of Constantinople. According to this treaty, Greek recognized as an independent state. independent nation. So Greek culture is among the oldest culture of the world. So this was a big achievement for the European nation because achievement of independence in Greek again became a role model for the European country. So the important question is this: when was Treaty of Constantinople held? It held in 1832. What was its consequence? According to the Treaty of Constantinople, Greek recognized as an independent nation. So the age of revolution between 1830 to 1848, a number of revolutionary activities held in Europe. First, in 1830, the Bourbon kings in France dispersed and he overthrown. And second, in 1832, according to the Treaty of Constantinople, very important, Greek got an independent nation's designation. Meanwhile, the romantic imagination and the national feeling. To create feeling of nationalism, a new style they adopted, it is called romantic imagination. The development of nationalism did not come about only through war and territorial expansion. The feeling of nationalism cannot come about only through war and territorial expansion. Here, culture played an important role in creating the idea of nation. So now the people of Europe wanted to create the feeling of nationalism through romantic imagination. What is romantic imagination? Again, this is very important question, my dear. Romanticism, what is romanticism? Listen very carefully. Romanticism is a cultural movement. What it is? A cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiments. Romantic artists and poets generally criticized the glorification of regions and science and focused instead on emotion, intuitions, and mystical feelings. Their efforts was to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common culture, cultural past as the base of nation. Okay, Romanticism means the revolutionists wanted to bring awakening among the people of Europe through literature, through their historical past. But they do not believe in science and technology. Right. As in previous chapter I told you about the Indian nationalism. During the Indian nationalism, we also created the feeling of nationalism among the people of India through the historical background of India. Right. As we told to the people about the glorious past of India. That is why, in the same way, the European countries also tried to create a sense of nationalism among the people through their ancient past, through their culture, through their civilization, through their glorious past. So this is called romantic imagination. Again, I am repeating, what is romantic imagination? This is important question here. What is romanticism? It is a cultural movement. What it is? A cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiments. We sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiment. Romantic artists and poets generally, yes, criticized the glorification of religion and science and focused instead of emotion, intuitions, and mystical feeling. Their effort was to create a sense of shared collective heritage, a common cultural past as the base of nation. So, through the ancient literature and through the history, they wanted to create, to bring a feeling of oneness among the people of India. And in this sequence, the language plays very important role here. For example, Russia defeated to Poland. After defeating to Poland, Russia introduced Russian language in Poland, while the Russian Poland language was Polish. In their school curriculum, Russia introduced only Poland language. Sorry, only Russian language. So now what was happening in Poland? They lost their language. That is why finally they revolted against Russia. Because after defeating to Poland, Russia introduced only Russian language in Poland. So it was a great danger. Now, the people of Poland lost their language. So, to preserve their language, they struggle hard against Russia. So, to bring the feeling of nationalism, language, culture, and their historical past played very important role. So, this is called romantic imagination. Means during the nationalism in Europe, the philosopher and the writer and author tried to create the feeling of nationalism among people through literature, through their glorious past, through their folklore, and through their historical background. This is called romanticism. Again, this is very important. Now come to hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. What happened during 1830? During 1830, because of increasing rate of population, all of a sudden population increased very fast in Europe, and when the population increased in the same proportion, production not increased. As a result, there was unemployment, there was poverty, there was hunger and hardship. And this is example of world history. Whenever there is poverty and whenever there is problem, people start revolt. जब भी दुनिया में गरीबी या भूखमरी आती है तो का आंदोलन होता है. That you can see today. Again, the world is suffering from the same situation because of COVID-19. After this, in coming time, you will see there will be great change in politics of the world. दुनिया की राजनीति में बहुत बड़ा चेंज आएगा. Because now again the world is going through economic depression. So again there was a problem in 1830s onwards because of the increasing rate of population very fast. Unemployment increased, poverty increased, and it was a serious problem before the European country. And again in 1848 there was a revolution. There was food shortage in France. As already Metternich said, if France sneezes throughout the Europe there is cold. When in 1848 there was food shortage, unemployment in France, people revolted against their king. And finally, when the people of France revolted against their king, the king granted them some power. According to the French government, a national assembly proclaimed a republic, granted suffrage to all adult male above 21, and guaranteed the right to work. So when the people revolted against their ruler because of the poverty, so French government gave the right to cast a vote to the male, those who were above 21. Otherwise people were revolting. In 1848, French government gave right to their citizen only to the male. Those who were more than 21 age, they got right to cast a vote. So when the male of France got right to cast a vote in 1848, only the more than 21. As in our country, we have the universal adult franchise. All the citizens, those who are 18 and above, they have right to cast a vote. हमारे वहाँ क्या है, the citizens those who are 18 and above, they have right to cast a vote, and when you will complete your 18 year, you will also get right to cast a vote, and you will also participate in political activity. जब आपके 18 साल पूरे हो जाएंगे, आपको ऑटोमेटिकली ही वोट देने का अधिकार मिल जाएगा, बिकॉज यू आर द सिटीजन ऑफ दिस नेशन. आप इस देश के नागरिक हैं. हाउ यू आर द सिटीजन ऑफ दिस नेशन? बिकॉज योर पेरेंट्स आर द सिटीजन ऑफ दिस नेशन. सो फ्रेंच मेल got right to cast a vote in 1848. Why? Because of the poverty. In the same year people revolted against their king. जब लोगों ने संघर्ष किया तो लोगों को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए the government passed an order. According to that, the male of France got right to cast a vote, those who were more than 21 years. While the adult franchise struggle was continuing in France, the women of France got right to cast a vote in 1946. And here we can compare, and the government of India given right to cast a vote in 1947. We achieved independence in 1947, and in 1947 there was यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज, यानी कि सभी को मताधिकार का अधिकार था. But France was a developed country. This struggled hard. The women of France got right to cast a vote in 1 year before from India in 1946. So here, in 1848, the French government given the right to cast a vote to the adult. So this was a great achievement. So now, when the French male got right to cast a vote, the people were struggling all over the Europe. पूरे देश में यूरोप में जो है स्ट्रगल होने लगा. So this after comes the revolution of liberals, that is called unification of Germany, then unification of Italy. But the important point of today's PPT, that is the revolutionaries and the new conservatism after 1815. This is also known as Vienna Congress. After defeating to Napoleon Bonaparte, a treaty held in Vienna, it is known as the Vienna Congress. It was headed by Austrian Duke Metternich. Right. It was joined by Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. And after this, again, the monarchy restored in France, according to 1815. While after 1815, there was a revolutionary movement, and the main revolutionary was Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini. He became the member of secret society. Later on, he projected as the most dangerous enemy of our social order by Duke Metternich because of his revolutionary activity. So again, between 1830 to 1848, there were a number of revolutions held. Again, in 1830, there was the French Revolution. According to this revolution, the Bourbon king, who was given power in 1815, again overthrown, and a democratic government established there. And it was 1832, the Greek, a old country of the world, got an independent nation according to the Treaty of Constantinople. This was a great achievement. Then comes the romantic imagination, means to create a feeling of nationalism through literature, through culture, through civilizations. Then comes hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. What happened in after 1830? Population of Europe increased very fast. Unemployment increased, poverty increased, people started to revolt. And again revolution took place in France in 1848. So when the hunger and poverty and unemployment increased in France, the people of France revolted. Finally, to crush the movement, the ruler of France given right to cast a vote to the male those who had more than 21. 21 साल से ऊपर के नागरिकों को फिर वोट देने का अधिकार दिया. So when the people of France, the male of France, got right to cast a vote, it became again ideal state for Europe. A number of European countries started to demand right to cast a vote. So this is today's PPT, my dear. In next PPT, I will discuss you about the unification of Germany, unification of Italy, and unification of Britain. Thank you.